This is everything, and I mean everything that you need to know about the fullback in the modern game. And if you're not a fullback, you know exactly what to do. Send this to a fullback. Now let's get into it. And apologies for not doing this video earlier. I've just been extremely busy in the past 2 months, but hey, that is not an excuse. It is what it is. We move on. Now let's get into this video because this is a big one. So as a fullback, your priority should be to interpret the space. Listen to the space. Identify where you need to be to help your team. Now what on earth do I mean by that? So when your right-sided centre-back has the ball, if the space is there for you to drop deep because the opposition are pressing high, then you do so. So for example, in this scenario up against a high press, if you drop very deep, this winger is now in a predicament because the moment they follow you, look at that space for your winger to receive the ball or for your number 8 to receive the ball. And then guess what? If that does happen and the ball goes into your number 8 under pressure, your job is not done. Your job is not done. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to support underneath the ball right here to receive with your striker spinning in behind, with your winger spinning behind, and now you can play that ball over the top and be very direct and be very effective for your team. And when you drop very deep, because you've interpreted the space and you've identified that that is the potential best solution and this winger stays, you can get the ball. Yes, the opposition are pressing very aggressively and now the winger is pressing you. Now, how's your first touch? Your directional first touch. So as the winger is coming towards you, as the pass is here, your first touch is into the space and you've taken the winger out of the game with one touch. Your directional first touch becomes incredibly important in these particular scenarios. Now, in certain moments of the game, interpreting the space could mean you drift inside into the half space. So the opposition striker is pressing your right centre back. This is the winger here. Now, instead of dropping deep or going high, you drift inside here to receive a pass behind this line. So if I were to draw a line like this, right, you would receive the pass to break that line to turn and play. And that would require your number 8 to be slightly higher and your 6 to stay disciplined within the width of the 6-yard line like that. So your 6 is operating this area and then you can really receive the ball in this half space and you can turn on the back foot. So receiving the ball on the half turn to play forward. So you're starting out wide, your centre back has pressure from the opposition number 9, your winger is cutting the pass off to you, the simple pass, and then you on the blind side of the winger, on the blind side you go in here to receive the ball on your back foot and now you can play. Maybe it's a pass in behind to your number 9, maybe it's a 1-2 with your number 8. So you get the ball, you play, you offer. As you receive the ball, there might be pressure and now you can dictate. It could be into the striker who could set the 6 and now the 6 could play the other side and then your team are out. And that's you taking responsibility and taking ownership of that build-up play. So when you've received the pass from your centre-back, as you take it on the half turn, your job's not done. And then when you've played the pass, your job's not done. Thinking all the time. My job is not done. Because once you've played the pass, your number 8 might have extreme pressure. So it's down to you to say, you know what, give it back to me. And as you receive it, yes, you have pressure from the opposition's winger, who's now turned and sprinting towards you. But because you've thought 2 steps ahead, because you know that when you've played the pass and you're receiving it back, you know that potentially the 9 has dropped in. So there's another pass there, which breaks the line of the 10 and the 8. So if we were to draw another line here, look at that line, you've broken that line. So once you receive the ball in the half space, when you've drifted inside, now it's about breaking lines. It's about making things happen. And as a fullback, can you be the trigger for a rotation? What on earth does that mean? That means when your right-sided centre-back has the ball, or for example your left-sided centre-back has the ball, and this is you here as the left-back or right-back, whichever side you're on, you are going to go very high. You're going to go away from the ball to open up space. Now, when you go very high, if this winger follows you, look at that space for your centre-back to take their time on the ball. Maybe the 10 drops in. And just by that one movement, you've helped your team have more time on the ball. Now, if this winger says, you know what, forget the fullback, I'm going to press the ball, you want an option via a third man combination. It goes into the 6, out to you, and now you've created a 2v1 on the opposition fullback. Also, by going high, by going away from the ball, your 10 can drop in, your 7 can drift inside into the left half space, and now you've become a left winger. Yes, you're a left back, but now you're a winger. You're a winger in possession of the ball because now your left-sided centre-back can potentially play the 6, who can play the 10. The winger is pressing the 10 goes back into the 6, out to the left centre-back who's now drifted out wide. Your opposite centre-back shuffles across and your full-back on the other side shuffles across. You have a back 3, you have a midfield 4 with your 7 operating in the pocket, and now you can receive the ball here. Because the 11 is now focused on the 10, therefore you're the option straight away. And guess what? If the winger wants to stay here and focus on the ball, well, the 10 gets the ball in space. If the 6 wants to step towards the 10, well, the 7 gets the ball in that pocket. So you moving away from the ball when your near side centre-back has it causes this. And that is very helpful for your team if your team can utilise that correctly. So you've created a 4-man midfield with your 6, 10, 8 and 7, and then you've become the winger. So if you receive the ball down the line like that, what's your 1v1 ability like? Can you drop the shoulder, go down the line, and how's your end product? Can you cross the ball into the box, into that very dangerous area, what we call no man's land, where the opposition backline are sprinting back to their goal, the goalkeeper is in and around the 6-yard line, and guess what? Your attackers are sprinting towards the goal. And if you can cross the ball into this area here, that is just very, very dangerous. Because does the goalkeeper come to try and retrieve it? Does the centre-back try and deal with it running back to their goal while the attackers are running towards the goal? And straight away, if the opposite winger can become the second striker on the far side with your central striker like that, it's your job to be really effective with your crossing into this area here and see what happens. Or in this 2v1 situations, utilise it. Utilise the 2v1, a 1-2. Why not? A 1-2 down the line and off you go. It could even be, you could even be creative and say, you know what? I am going to play a pass inside, drift inside, receive the ball back with my winger spinning in behind, and just those sort of movements create a whole load of problems for the opposition. And that all comes down to being unpredictable. And when it comes to defending as a fullback, your priority is to operate within the width of the penalty box, force the opposition out wide, and then you engage. So, for example, when the opposition fullback has the ball, the right back, and you're the left back, your aim is to be within the width of the penalty box, and of course the opposition winger will be very wide here. And then your wingers will tuck in like that, so you have a compact 4-5-1 shape. And then as the opposition are building, let's say they find a pass out to the winger, now you engage. You do not engage too early. So if the ball is not going to the winger, you stay within the width of the penalty box right here. You do not go out too wide, because the moment that happens, maybe the 10 can exploit that space in between yourself and the centre back. So if the 10 exploits that space, the ball could go in behind like that. You always prioritise the central area of the pitch, forcing them out wide where there is minimal danger, especially when the touchline is an extra defender, and then you engage in your 1v1 battles. So you're compact here. Now if the 10 wants to make that run, there is no opportunity for the 10 to receive the ball, because as that ball goes in, we have cover with you and your other centre back for those aerial drills, so that is not an issue. What is an issue is this pass here. So what will most likely happen is this pass will go down the line, or if the 6 drops in like that, it will go into the 11. Now as it goes into the 11, you engage, you release yourself, if that makes sense. You release yourself from your structure and you engage in your 1v1, showing them down the line with your centre back shuffling across, with your other centre back coming across, and your full back coming across like that, with your 8, 6, 10 dropping in like that, with your winger here, your 7 here, and your 9 like that. Yes, they would have pushed up the pitch as well. And now it's down to your 1v1 defending. Are you jockeying? Are you engaging too early? Are you holding? Are you delaying? And then letting this winger make a move, and then you really, really aggressively engage and win the ball back? Or are you just forcing the play down the line until you can put enough pressure to affect it, win the ball back, release your number 10 for a counter-attack into your number 7? So you have to be very careful. You do not want to be done by one touch, because if you go in too early, the winger just taps the ball here and off they go. You want to be very, very hard to beat. You want to be very frustrating to play against. And what does that mean? You engage aggressively, you hold, you delay, you wait for them to make a move, you anticipate, you step in, you win the ball, and then it's your decision making here. You do not go back to the goalkeeper, because this backwards pass with the 10 and the 9 pressing, that is just putting extreme pressure on your team. What you do here is potentially, as you have the ball under pressure, now that you're shielding the winger, you play into your 5 with pressure, and can they quickly release the winger? Or can you turn and then just float it down the line because your winger is there, your number 10 is there, maybe your number 10 wins the second ball, and then you guys can play from there. So it's really, really important that you prioritize the central area, staying within the width of the penalty box, and then if you're the fullback on the far side, you have to shuffle across almost in line, pretty much in line with that 6-yard line right there. And the timing, when you engage, when you stay, is really important. As the ball is traveling, that's when you detach yourself, and that's when you engage in a 1v1 duel with the winger. Now, I really hope you found this video insightful, and if you did, please share it to someone who you think will find it insightful, and also comment below which position I should do next. I've done wingers, I've done centre backs, I've done number 6, I've done number 10, whoa, I've done number 8, I've done fullbacks, I've got the striker and the goalkeeper left. Okay, so the striker and the goalkeeper, which one should I do next? And until next time, peace.